Choo, 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 choo. Choo, 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 choo. So, it is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Tuesday, the 29th of July, 2025, the year of our Lord, A.D., Anno Domini, or Anno Domini, was how I learned it. And I am live on Pilled, Punchy, Punchie, .tv, and other platforms. You know, crazy shootings going on in the world, and stabbing. Is it shooting? Is it just shooting enough, Lin Yen Chin? He prefers I don't use the plural. But yesterday, there was one in Reno. A guy shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Now he hears that train coming. He hangs his head and cries, as he should, because it was wrong. It wasn't right. Yeah, at 7 in the morning, walked into the casino and did somebody wrong. A few people, actually. And then he's in custody, that guy, that suspect. And then another place, around 3:30 in the afternoon or something like that, or 6:30 in the evening, I guess it would have been their time. It's still light out. In New York, a guy walked into somewhere Manhattan-ish and tried to shoot up the place. He was like a... Sorry, Lin Yen Chin. I was about to say he was like a Lin Yen Chin type of a guy, meaning he's mixed, part Asian and part black looking, anyway. And in his name as well, Shane Tamura, whatever. And Commie Nonsense Network was saying, Commie Nonsense they had like his suicide note. Sorry, kids, ladies. Rough stuff going on in the world, evil. And then there was a stabbing in Traverse City, Michigan, not Chicago. That stabbing happened a little earlier, another day, a different day. I remember reading about it on one morning. So maybe a few days, 2-3 days ago or something. And some veterans stopped that guy. It pays to have able-bodied men around, does it not? Especially when there's evil criminals around. Evil criminal males versus halfway decent males who will stop crime. Because 911 is a joke in your town. When seconds count, minutes don't matter, or something like that. They say that about carrying a gun and stuff like that, or being ready, or being aware. Not being some places in the first place, like William III mentioned, I think. He doesn't really go to these gatherings anymore, because it could be dangerous. You know, up in, I forget if it was Canada or somewhere, so there was some shooting outside of a club in I think it was in Alaska. Jim in Alaska said that's like a couple towns over. So watch out, people. Keep your wits about you. JLP's warning me because he heard a couple, a husband and wife, were killed while hiking. That's terrible. Their children survived, I guess. What a mess, huh? Normally you see with wild animals, the wild animals such as the mountain lions. What's up, Hake with the Johnny Cash reference. What's up, Rita? Normally the mountain lions will go after the weak, the straggler, the unsuspecting. Mountain lions, also known as cougars. They go after the weak, the straggler, and the unsuspecting. So don't look weak. Stand tall. Make noise. Throw rocks at mountain lions if they're threatening you. Not unprovoked, of course. And not women, older women, not people, okay? Anyway, what's up, Commander Kim, Dustin, Takcho, Age of Inversion, Commander Kim again, I said. Age of Son of Liberty. Frank James. Hey. Why do I recognize that name? Jim Trafficant. Shout out to JLP for, transferring your viewers over to Hake. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Complicated business. I don't have my live chat out over on the YouTube crew. Hey, M. Medrano, the dude. Kevin, Albert, C. Saladito. Argalunas. Sorry, R. I didn't mean to roll my R. Joel or Joel. Probably Joel is my guess. Jep. Okay, so the views expressed on this show do not represent those of Hake. I don't even represent myself. Is that Toucan Sam? JLP, doesn't represent JLP. It doesn't represent the snake pit. It doesn't represent the callers. The callers don't represent me, and I don't represent the callers. The callers probably don't even represent themselves. And the super chatters can be a mess. And so chill out. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. You can call in. Wow, look at that. Listen to that racket. You can call in 1-888-775-3773, but I disclaim everything you say. Not that I disavow it, not that I necessarily disagree. It's just that it doesn't necessarily represent me, and it's not meant to. So the views expressed on Hake don't represent Bond, all right? Or the network, or American Anchor Baby, or Derek, the producer. So don't be yelling at them for something I say. And if you want to yell at me, just don't do it in person and threateningly. Because I'm over here on the internet. So talk to me on the internet. But you can call in. You're welcome to. I do like disagreement. I do like criticism. I do like lively conversation. There's mess going on in the world. Some of you guys are already calling in. The lines are filling up. We're nearing the end of beautiful White History Month. Some have wanted certain elements of white history, or of history, period, to be struck from the record, or at least struck from the Hall of Fame, indeed. Because sometimes these blacks have the wrong kinds of heroes. Shout out to them, educated or not. I shout them out. But, so no endorsement is implied, even when I say right to somebody who may not be right, okay? It doesn't mean that I think that they're right. Sometimes I'll be like, right! So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay? Disclaimer. Shootings and stabbing. It's terrible stuff. Violence. Okay. So, anyway, guys. Let's just get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I've gotten compliments on my shirt. This is my old design of my t-shirt. It says Obvious Globe. And it's available on the Teespring store, which I don't recommend you taking a risk on, but you can if you want. I did leave it up just in case you do want to take a risk. But you can also get the updated version on hake.printify.me. Or mosey on over to the hakereport.com and look for the store or shop or whatever links. There are multiple. All right. So, nice. I made the Teespring a little bit harder to find, and I gave a fair warning on the Teespring link and page. All right. So, be forewarned. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. It is. Let me do this. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I just meant a timeout. Nice. Sweet. So, before I get to calls, I would like to get to a little bit of the news, if you don't mind. Oh, come on. Here, we'll do this. Does that work? I think it does. Oh, come on. So if we mosey on over to thehakereport.com, by the way, a big shout out to this guy, Caledonian. A lot of people weren't aware of it. I started right off my show with an announcement on it, but I didn't repeat it. And you're supposed to repeat announcements, and I don't even think I mentioned it on the JLP show. But Caledonian Elixir interviewed Hake on the Caledonian Elixir podcast. Hopefully that's not something bad. Oh, and you can support them on buymeacoffee.com/ what is that word? Caledonian Elixir. All one word. What is Caledonian? Just out of curiosity, just to make sure I'm not saying something bad. It generally refers to Scotland. Oh, that's why somebody knew that he was Scottish. Scottish. Caledonian generally refers to Scotland. I'm part Scottish. Although you don't hear me harping on it. So that's how you know I'm not Irish or Italian or Jewish. It generally refers to Scotland or things related to it. It also can refer to the ancient Caledonian tribe or a genealogical period of mountain building. Whoa. All right. A synonym for Scottish or of Scotland. All right. Refers to ancient Rome name for Scotland. Caledonia. Wow. Shout out to the Romans. Are those the Italians? It can be used to describe things associated with Scotland, like the Caledonian Forest or the Caledonian Canal. Group of Celtic tribes, inhabiting what is now Scotland during the Iron Age and Roman era, per Wikipedia, if you believe them. They were known to the Romans as enemies. They resisted the Roman expansion. Were the Scottish the ones who were unconquerable? Or am I confusing them with certain Irish? I don't know my history, so don't get mad, Scottish or Irish. Or you can be mad. It's in your blood to be mad. Kidding around. The Caledonian orogeny is a period of mountain building in northwestern Europe during the Paleozoic era, per Wikipedia. Nice. Wow, there's an railway, a sleeper train between London and Scotland. Nice and cool. So anyway, I was on his show and it was really cool. Vincent is the host there. That's from his channel, right? So I'm not doxing him. Am I doxing him by having that? Let me just make sure that I. Caledonian Elixir podcast and live stream call-in show. All right. Taking a tragic and sometimes comedic deep dive. Check it out. So I enjoyed talking with him. Conversation with James Hake is the name of it. And it was cool seeing Mina, and mildly attractive snake pit security guard or whatever he's called now, Josh in Georgia and others. tuning in. Mr. Pink says Scottish evolved from Ewoks. Little known fact. I do like the Ewoks. I've always liked the Ewoks. There's something in my blood that just rejoices with the Ewoks. And I felt like Star Wars was Christian and a part of my family, even though it's neither. So, anyway, check them out. All right? I've been a viewer of JLP and Hake for years now, actually. A deep dive into the human condition. And you guys may like them, including the Israel critics. All right? So, nice. Sweet. That's thehakereport.com. All right. I've dilly-dallied a bit, and so I don't really want to delve into the news, but there is some news to get to, okay? I'll tell you about it. Darren Beattie is back, all right? And better than ever in the Trump sort of related sphere. Hey, why didn't you tell us you were going to be there, dork? You can't say that word. That's a bad word. I did. It was the first thing that I opened my show with, and then I also put it in the top of my description and top comment on my show. But I opened with it yesterday. I told you guys, didn't I? I thought. But I definitely should have done better. Be better, right? No excuses. If you didn't know, that's a flaw on my messaging. I should have ended, when I ended the show, I should have mentioned it. So I am remiss. I can't criticize you for not paying attention at the beginning of my show. Anyway, let me get to Jermaine in Canada on the line over here. Jermaine, thank you for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. This good day. How are you, Hake?
I'm doing fine as well. Thank you, sir.
Was that a good pronunciation?
It was. That's right. Yeah, because yesterday you called me Hank. And not that I mind. I don't mind. But just to be clear, because some people really believe that Hank is my name and not Hake. And I just wanted to make sure that it's duly noted that it's Hake and not Hank, although I answer to both. Nice.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that I have the domain thehankreport.com at this time. I have hakereport.com. But anyway.
Yeah, because I realized that, I would say, oh, it's probably because of my accent. I was making excuses, just like all the blacks make excuses.
Indeed.
For racism. I was like, no. I'm trying to improve myself spiritually, so should do it in every way, right?
Yeah.
So my question for you, very deep one. What is one thing you love about a female?
That's an interesting question. I see one thing that I love about a female is that I see a reflection of myself. When I put a female in a place in my head, then sometimes and then I'm thinking about it, I notice that when I'm interacting with them, I'm able to catch that in myself sometimes. Rather than have an imaginary relationship with them like Caitlin Clark's other stalker, her 55-year-old stalker. I don't know if you heard about that. He was in an imaginary relationship with Caitlin Clark. And that's what he told police. And that is all men and all women in their relationships with each other. They're in their imaginary, they have an imaginary relationship with them rather than a real one. And I like noticing that.
Yeah, it's true because you do end up making a fantasy and a dream world about what could happen or what it could be, or just you just make up a dream about it, which is not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
It's
get
so
that part.
it's so insane.
Yeah. And when you stay present, you get to see it, and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
But I've noticed that with the question that I asked you about what's one thing you love about female,
Yeah.
I don't think I have love. I don't think I have anything I love about them, because it's all off the, what do you call it now? The flesh.
Yeah.
It's the
Yup.
it's imagination. It's not real.
Totally.
So, yeah, even the relationships around me, and I see it, they don't have any love, because, I mean, if you love them, you're going to tell them the truth, and that's when you actually have love for them and understand it, right?
Yeah.
And in the other way, there's, I don't have any nothing to love about them. It's interesting, because I think this came about when Jesse said be nothing for 3 days, and what was the other part?
And see if you rise on the third day, something like that.
Yeah,
Be
something
nothing
along
and
those
no
lines.
one. Be nothing and no one.
Yeah. So that's when that came about, and it's just interesting to see. It's because you have these identity that you attach to, and the world that programs you to live up to these standard and expectations, but you can't live up to them because they don't even exist.
Yeah.
The dream world.
That's right.
Very interesting. But another point for you here. You saw that video with the lady. What's her name? No, I'm forgetting. Nicole Johnson, I think. So this lady got randomly pulled over by the cops, and she's black.
Mhm.
And, they asked for her. She was going above the speed, if I remember correctly. And they pulled over for that. And then they asked her for her registration and license. They run the car. They run her license. Doesn't exist. The car is not even registered. So they told her they're going to have to tow the car. And she had some stuff in the car. And they told her she needs to take these garbage bags out and suitcase, what she has in the car.
Stay close to your phone.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And they told her to take her things out of the car. And while she was doing it, another officer shows up. And they're like, why do you have so much garbage bag and suitcase in your car? And she was saying, oh, it's dirty laundry. And they told her to open it. They want to check it. And they found 2 dead kids. I think it's 2.
Oh.
2 dead in the suitcase. They've been dead and in that suitcase over a year.
Whoa. And they didn't smell it?
It's because it's packed so tight.
Yep.
And it was packed so well, you wouldn't even notice. It's when they told her to open it out, because there's layers to it. And the police, she asked for help, and the police start cutting it open. They start smelling. They're like, what's that smell?
Yeah.
And it turned out that a friend of hers, she was looking after these kids for her, and the mother now, she wanted back the kids, and she kept asking for her kids. I don't really know how that backstory really went, but she was asking her back for her kids, and she said she didn't want to give the kids back to the lady because the lady wasn't treating the kids right and proper, but she was. And because she didn't want to give the kids back, she ended up killing them.
Wow. And these were her niece and nephew, according to CBS.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. So, yeah, she didn't love these kids.
That's true.
That's amazing. So I just wanted to give you that tip there.
Wow. Look at that
Yeah.
poor black lady. I mean, the poor children, right? What a mess.
It is a myth.
That's ridiculous. He detected unmistakable odor of decomposition and probably of the bodies. What a mess. And she's a beautiful black lady. Aw. And doing something so evil. Rotten to the core. Nicole Johnson. Rest in peace to those, the niece and nephew. Brutal. 7-year-old niece Jocelyn Johnson and 5-year-old nephew Larry O'Neill per police. She was taking care of the kids. The mother wasn't able to. The mom had tried to get the kids back, but this Nicole Johnson gal never showed up. Brutal, man. Woo. And that's Baltimore. What a mess. What did she do to them? Like, how? Well, I don't really want to necessarily know, but
How she
what a
got them in
mess.
the system
Yeah, how
like
she
that?
did them in.
Don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like what Tony talks about with white people. White people will kill their own family, as if black people don't. Although this is not direct family, it's nieces and nephews, but still, it's an evil human nature thing. That's brutal, man. Terrible.
It wasn't scared. Kind of understand the human nature, but it was just like, wow, you know?
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
And
All
crime
right,
and murder is going crazy, I guess, over there in Baltimore. What does it say? They said,
yeah.
in 2022, 34 murders reported in Baltimore County, a decrease of 35%, they say. Probably because, like, there's been a 35% decrease of the population. Don't quote me on that. I disclaim. It's not, I'm just speculating. Totally making that up. But crime has gone up and the population has gone down. People leaving Baltimore. Beautiful Baltimore. What a mess. Shout out. Know some Baltimore people. Well, thank you for the tip, man. Whew. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that
There
was a
was
story.
another
This was a
shooting,
story that came out in February this year. The Baltimore woman being sentenced to 50 years. I don't know how you came across this.
It's not a big story. It's not really out there because it's the police. The police, they had a body cam, and I kind of watched some YouTube channel that cover like story like these.
Oh, okay,
I'll
like
really see them and I'll check
mystery, death, murder stories. That type of.
No.
Or
yeah, something similar down those lines. They cover like cops with their body cam and the crazy story that they uncover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really out there really anywhere. It's a rare footage to see.
Yeah. I mean, this is about 6 months ago that this sentencing took place, apparently. But, yeah, what a mess. Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy White History Month.
Yeah. Yeah, you too. Happy White History Month. There's another one, but I forgot where it happened. It's on I'm trying to remember, Alaska News or something like that, where there was a lot of people right beside a police station and they're outside partying, and a fight took off with a couple of girls, and then there was two masked males, and they end up fighting with one of the security, and he ended up shooting the security, and one of the security guards was behind his car in the trunk because he knows something was up, and he grabbed his gun. This is the rifle, and he gunned him down. It's crazy, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What a mess.
All right, Hake.
Thank you, Jermaine. Appreciate it.
All right, bye. Cheers.
All right. And Michael in Canada is on the line over here, I do believe. Michael, how you doing?
And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing well. How about you?
I am fine.
Did you know that's a Michael Jackson song, but it was written by a woman?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. These women always telling men to look at themselves, but the women don't want to look at themselves. Shout out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, shout out. I want to first of all say that I represent myself.
Okay.
I don't care about it.
That's right.
And I want to make my White History Month contribution for
Okay.
y'all. But it's from here. Is it that okay?
Sure. Yeah, that works.
So first of all, we got Jacques Cartier. So Jacques Cartier.
Okay.
He was born in 1491. He died in 1557. He discovered the Quebec, the Newfoundland, and the St. Laurent Bay in 1535. He was a French explorer.
Jacques Cartier.
Jacques Cartier.
Cartier.
Yeah.
Cartier.
Yeah.
Cartier. I don't know how
Yeah.
you guys come up with your phonetics.
Cartier.
I can figure out Spanish phonetics mostly, and English. Other than that, I'm out of luck. Simply out of luck.
Yeah, but
SOOL.
French is not like English.
That's for sure.
And Spanish because you grew up around Mexicans.
That's
I
right.
think.
Yep.
And but French is kind of Spanish, but it's way more complicated.
Okay.
And that's why when I told you that I was trying to learn German,
Yeah.
it was hard for me because German, it's really like English, but English is way easier. Yeah, they got words, too long.
Oh yeah, German does, huh?
So the only thing I was able to say is like she eat that bread, so she eats that boss, something like that, you know. But it was hard, man. It's hard.
I bet.
But anyway, and I got someone else. Got three people actually. So
Okay.
we got one. The next one is Samuel de Champlain. Samuel de Champlain. So he founded the Quebec City in 1608. And he died on Christmas 1635 in Quebec.
Whoa.
And you know, Quebec City is 417 years. So we were the first American, but Canadian in French.
Yeah. Samuel
Yeah,
de Champlain, a French
Yeah.
explorer, navigator, cartographer, soldier, geographer, diplomat, chronicler, founded Quebec City and established New France as a permanent French colony in North America.
Yep.
That's cool. He has a cool look on him, too.
17 years. I know, how you say that? 417 years.
417 years? Oh, yeah, because he was born in 1574 and he died in, you said 1635. That's mind-boggling. You know how they say that space and time are mind-boggling? Even just thinking about this is 390 years ago, right? Something like that, roughly, when he died?
400 years ago.
Yeah, like 400 years ago. He was when he died.
Yeah. But you know, they had harsh life. He wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't. Especially Samuel. He wasn't a bourgeois. So
Okay.
he was an ordinary person, we can say. Not ordinary because he made a lot of things, but and the reason I want to brought these people because, and it's just a fact. I don't want to hate on anybody, but
Yeah.
whites explore, conquer, and build
Yeah.
things. And you never see other races doing that, really. I mean, and they all profit from that.
Right.
And they still hate us.
Yeah.
These men had harsh life. I mean, and navigate the ocean, it's something, man.
Yeah. For sure,
Especially
man.
in these years. It wasn't uncommon that some people will die during the traveling
Yep.
and never come back home.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something. And my third one, the one and only, George St. Pierre.
Hey.
Yeah. That's a true warrior, man. Came from nothing, from a little town in
GSP.
Quebec.
Cover your eyes, ladies. Interesting.
Yeah. And he's just like me. He can't express himself in English.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He got a really hard time to express himself. He's a true Québécois. You know, we don't speak French. We speak Québécois.
Wow.
And, it's a whole other language. But
those are the eyes of a killer. Has he killed anybody, or he just beats them up real bad?
No. He's a true. He's a gentleman. He's
nice.
He's not like that. He's a ninja. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say, but he don't fight to beat people up. It's just he's a true warrior.
That is cool.
And yeah. And
was he in the UFC? This is a UFC fighter. Oh, he's about my age.
He's of the world.
He's just a couple of months older than me, or less. 5'10", 170. So he's basically me.
Yeah. Roughly the same size.
Yeah.
Maybe the same bicep size.
Yeah, roughly about the same, plus or minus. That's funny, man.
But, yeah, and if you want to see something funny, because he can't express himself, he loves dinosaurs. And even me, if I try to say a dinosaur's name in English, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
You know? And so he's been on this documentary, and when he's speaking, it's hilarious, man. You know, he's a judge on some karate combats, and the guy can barely express himself. So the other judges with him complete his sentences.
That's
all
funny.
the time. Yeah. So that's what and we can say too, Celine Dion, who's French Canadian too.
Who's that?
She's a great singer, and she conquered the world.
Oh, Celine Dion.
Yeah, she's a French Canadian too, from a little town in Quebec too.
I didn't know that. She's She's a beautiful gal. She's kind of dark and she's turned twisted, but what can you do? She has gone through some health issues lately. The queen of power ballads, technically skilled vocals, and commercially successful music, which is to say, it is undeniable. So she introduced Francophone music to many non-Francophone countries. That's cool. 57 years old.
She sang for the Pope when she was young, and
wow.
His husband found her because he was how you say that, people that takes artist career. He's manager.
Oh, okay.
And,
he
found her like that.
Her husband was her manager?
Yeah, because he found her when she was a
Ex-husband.
teenager at 14 years old, because she sang for the Pope.
Wow.
When he came over here. And many years later, they got married. They got together.
Okay.
And he made her success.
Wow.
She didn't want to she made the song for the Titanic.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to do it in English, but her husband convinced her to do it because he knew that was going to be big.
Yeah.
And she did the great the good move and did it in English. And she did the song for the Little Stewart movie.
Oh, is that a mouse movie?
Yeah. Man, that's one of my childhood movies.
Right on.
Yeah. So that's it, man. I won't take your time anymore. I'm gone. So have a good day, Hake.
Thank you.
I know I got the last question really quickly.
Yes, sir.
Did you call Ye by his former slave's name?
Not to his face. Not to his face.
White guilt.
Indeed.
What you want.
Indeed.
Okay. Bye, Hake. Have a nice day, man. God bless you.
You as well. Take care. I cut him off mid. He's out. Michael in Canada. Nice White History Month contributions. Michael Jackson. And whoever wrote that song for him, telling men to look in the mirror. If you want to make a change, take a look at yourself. Something like that. And then who else did he mention? Let's review real quick. Celine Dion. Celine. Sort of. I remember she did that new commercial. We won't talk about that. I've talked about it plenty. That's her ex-husband, I guess. Syrian. Born in Montreal to a Syrian father and a Lebanese mother. I thought he looked sort of ethnic, that husband who talked some sense into her to sing English. The Titanic wasn't French. But anyway, the English think that French sounds romantic. GSP apparently talked karate with Bas Rutten, according to this YouTube video from 2021 Karate Combat. Bas Rutten, B-A-S, R-U-T-T-E-N is his last name. B-A-S his first name. Interesting guy. He was on the Fallen State. So GSP, thank you, sir. And because I want to note these down so you guys, I don't know what that is. Oh, I think it's probably dinosaurs. No, what? Okay. Georges Saint-Pierre. Cool. Who is this guy that we looked into? Champlain. Samuel de Champlain. Something like that. Samuel de Champlain. And last but not least, that's him. Jacques Cartier. Which looks like Jack is Cartier, kids. Whatever. Kids probably know better than Hake. Sweet. Very nice. Yeah, Saida Garrett might have been the woman who wrote the lyrics. Let's find out. Glenn Ballard is the guy who maybe, I'm presuming he wrote the music. Songwriter, lyricist, record producer. And who's this gal? Saida Garrett. Singer, songwriter, written and performed. I want to know the Man in the Mirror song. Real quick, because it's important. We need to talk about how these women are preaching at men. Yeah, Man in the Mirror. Is that it? Oh, Lord. Hand in My Pocket. Hand in My Pocket. Is that one by that one gal? Okay, Man in the Mirror. Sung by Michael Jackson, written by Glenn Ballard and Saida Garrett. And produced by Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson. Okay, I want to know the lyrics. The lyrics were written by a woman. Am I right about this? So Garrett is the woman, right? Saida. And her writing partner was Glenn Ballard, I guess. Garrett wrote the lyrics. Saida Garrett wrote the lyrics. In your face, women trying to preach at the men, but it's a nice song still. I'm something at the man in the mirror. So, just FYI, Man in the Mirror, written by a woman. But man means woman. Am I right? I think it does. When we say man, it means woman. Isn't that right, Terry in Oregon, who's on the line over here? How you doing, Terry?
I'm well. How are you, Hake?
I'm doing fine as well. Thank you.
Right on. So let's see. Collect my thoughts. I did have, I guess, one brief White History Month note or person of note I thought would be nice to recognize.
Okay.
I was inspired by William from California yesterday to come up with this one.
Sweet.
Because he had mentioned Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, I want to mention the actor Richard Burton, the two-time husband of Elizabeth Taylor. He was a Welsh actor.
He married her twice?
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a simp.
They divorced and they married again.
Which is interesting. I when I was a kid and when I was a young man, I thought that that's what you should do, is because you shouldn't divorce. You should stay married. Like, because I still don't really believe in divorce, you know? But I'm less and less believing in marriage, too. Well, you shouldn't believe in, you should believe in God only, right? So Richard Burton.
But marriage is a covenant that was created by God before the fall.
Yeah, and perverted
So
by
we should
man and
believe it.
woman. Right. But anyway, Richard Walter Jenkins Jr., 1925 to 1984, Welsh actor. You know who else was Welsh? Batman.
Lots of people. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Christian Bale, Welsh. I didn't know that he had an accent. I thought he was American. So this guy, okay, I could see him marrying Elizabeth Taylor. He was a handsome man back in the day.
Yeah, really rugged, masculine. He's a really amazing actor. He got his start in theater doing Shakespeare.
Wow, a lot of those guys are pretty good.
He had a lot of gravitas, yeah.
Nice.
And he bought her a lot of her really fancy jewelry. He was into going to the auctions, so all the really big rocks she had came from him.
That's funny that you use the term rocks.
I mean, they are rocks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought he's a really incredible actor, and he's not as well known as he should be. So
underrated,
yeah.
Underappreciated.
Very. Yeah, after his death, she would talk about him, and she was sad that he had not gotten the recognition that he deserved. She felt he deserved to win awards that he never won. So anyway.
So did he divorce her again? Yeah, married and divorced her twice.
Yeah.
Married in 64, divorced 74. So they lasted 10 years, roughly. And then married again to her, 1975, divorced in 1976. They learned real fast that wasn't working, I guess. What a mess. Or they judged it as not working when it may have been working, but they were judgmental. Or somebody was. Who knows?
From what I understand, their relationship was insanely passionate, and they kind of burned each other out. Yeah.
Did she divorce him or he divorced her?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because usually it's the woman who divorces the man, because the man he's satisfied with his God, but she's dissatisfied with her subject.
Well, I don't know. He divorced his wife for her. So they were both married.
Oh.
And they met on the Cleopatra movie.
No.
And they were married to other people, and she left her husband first, and then he followed suit, and then they got together.
That's terrible. That's like other actors who are present day and actresses who are present day. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Remember
they kind of
Mr. and Mrs. Smith or something?
A lot of that.
What's that?
Yeah. They kind of set the standard for that, because she was really scandalous in her youth. Because she was involved in scandal after scandal, and I don't know. She just had a really, I think, passionate temperament that just went with whatever she wanted and didn't really. She burned through, how many times was she married? 8 times.
Wow.
I know.
Conrad Hilton Jr., Michael Wilding, Mike Todd, Eddie Fisher. That's 4, right? Richard Burton, twice. John Warner, Larry Fortensky, and divorced every single one of them.
No, Mike Todd died.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Mike Todd died.
He died in a plane, and then she married his best friend, who was married to Debbie Reynolds.
Woo, what a mess.
Yeah. So that's when she became a baddie. So.
Baddie. 4 children she had.
Just bad.
Oh, okay. Okay. A bad person. Nice.
But anyway, regardless of human fault, they still can do amazing things.
Indeed.
And,
just look at Trump.
Yeah. You got to forgive people.
Yeah.
And hope that they forgive one another too.
They didn't do us wrong. They set a poor example, I guess, in general. But they were given somebody messed them up. It never ends.
Yeah. Well, I actually called maybe about a different point. I was listening yesterday, and it made me think of a book I'd read in my book club. It was, is it okay to plug it? Just
If it's like a white history level quality book, sure.
I think it would be. I think it's really edifying. I think I really would
And
recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know that it's white history exactly, but it is something that affects white people specifically, and also I think blacks in America. Well, it was called a framework for understanding poverty, and that book kind of helped tip me over. I mean, I'd already stopped kind of being a socialist by the time, but reading that book kind of helped me put it in perspective that the socialist mindset is very similar to the poverty mindset. And in the book, the author breaks down the different social classes and how they think and how they're trained to think about money from an early age. And she makes differentiations between conditional poverty and then generational poverty. But something that was said yesterday on the show reminded me of it. It was about the entitlement and the fact that socialists tend to, they just want to take other people's things. They don't see that other people have earned what they have. There's no sense of like what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And that's similar in poverty, that resources are considered to be shared. And so when you have a poverty mindset, it's very natural to think that the wealth of the nation is yours and you're entitled to it, because in poverty, you're supposed to share your resources with the people you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then, you know, you lose out on those connections. And in poverty, just like with any other class, though, I mean, your network is tied to, you know, your resources. So if you alienate someone by not giving them money when they ask, and you have it and they know you have it, then they're not going to be there for you when it's your turn to be needy.
Yeah.
But in the middle classes, you don't ask people for money. It's considered highly disrespectful to like go to one of your friends and ask them for money.
Yeah.
And if you do ever borrow money, you're expected to pay it back right away. But in poverty, you're just expected to give when you have. And I think a big part of what's driving the rise in socialism is the amount of people that have been intergenerationally dependent on government benefits, welfare, and also inculcated with that mindset because they've been raised in families that are broken, you know, without fathers for multiple generations, not having good standards. That is also increasing in the rise of socialist mentality in the U.S. The fact that in many communities, white, black, and other, there's a breakdown of the family and an over-reliance on the state.
So true. So interesting too, because I have a little bit of firsthand experience with the type of people who ask for money. And I hardly ever, like you said, in the so-called middle class, which sounds like a socialist buzzword, but
it's not, though. I mean, there's upper class people who come from like generational wealth. They own large pieces of land. They, you know, a lot of the time they don't work. They actually they spend most of their time volunteering or working, you know, in some capacity where it's a volunteerism, or like the husband works, but the wife's whole career is oriented towards keeping up their network and, you know, volunteering for the good of like the community, philanthropy. And then the middle classes are professional people, you know, people who have generally educations, degrees, and it's not really about the money they make so much as the mindset they have towards money. It's all about people's orientation to wealth and their mindset about how they handle resources. So poverty, middle class, and intergenerational wealth, they all have different rules and understandings of how to manage money.
Yeah, they
and
fall
that's why there's
into different modes.
yeah,
Highly
Mhm.
predictable modes.
and they behave differently because of it. Because like if you're from intergenerational wealth, you're threatened generally, so they tend to be more seclusive, or they don't flaunt wealth like the lower classes do. They tend to be more private. They don't network in the same ways. You have to be introduced to them before they'll even speak to you, kind of thing. Like they need to be vetted. And also they tend to be private in terms of they keep their drama private.
Yeah, you're talking about the rich
So-
people, the rich
Yeah,
class,
yeah.
the classy people.
Yeah, the classy people. So, I mean, we were reading this book in terms of like understanding like just how to interact with people, network, and to deal with people from different classes. But
Yeah.
definitely nothing opened my eyes to like the fact that socialism was really a product of a poverty mindset than that book. It really kind of broke that open for me, that you couldn't really support socialism unless you were coming at it from that perspective.
Yeah. Evil.
Yeah.
A selfish share the wealth. They're the ones worshiping money, and they're falsely accusing the rich and richer than them people of worshiping money, when it's them who are worshiping the money and using money against each other.
Yeah. And, they also, they don't really save, or do anything. Once they have money, they spend it right away, or they spend it on entertainment, or,
Yeah.
So, but that's a product of the culture they're raised in, that's how you behave. If you're in that world and you act differently, you're going to be ostracized.
Yeah.
So oftentimes when people from like the middle classes have to interact with somebody from that that poverty mindset, it baffles them. They don't understand why the person's making the choices they're making, But if you look at it from, this is how people in poverty act, this is what they're trained to, how they're trained to behave, it makes sense. And then you can kind of actually coach them out of it, because the book was made for really educators to look at like how to deal with students that are coming from poverty.
Yeah.
Try and, get them out of it, to break the generational poverty. Because anybody can end up in poverty, like conditionally.
Right.
Things can happen to you. But a person that doesn't have a poverty mindset can get out of it.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Big Bump says, enough with the commie-splaining, Terry. It is a communist buzzword. Middle class. It's kind of like it could be kind of an illusion. Kind of like racism is an illusion, perhaps. There's something that just
Ultimately-
feels wrong about saying middle class, and everybody says it, but I've never liked the term. And
Is it because you're middle class?
maybe, but it's also when something is trendy to say, there's something that in me that questions it too.
I don't know. I think class is very important to recognize when you're dealing with people, just like race, because it affects how people behave. And if you don't understand what kind of person you're dealing with and where you're coming from and where they're coming from, you're going to have a hard time with them. So to act like class isn't this real thing that people are impacted by is, I guess, there is a difference between like the middle class. Where to begin? Where to begin?
Part of it
There's
is
difference
part of it is
between
this.
people there's difference between people and where they are on the like social.
Quite obviously.
system.
I'm not denying the differences and that people can pick up on those differences without having a name for it. But there is something called class warfare, right?
Yeah.
And they talk about, oh, the communists want to destroy the middle class. And then the communists accuse the capitalists, many of them are commie capitalists, of destroying the middle class and the poor, stuff like that. And the poor are in the many cases the poor are middle class if they would just change their mindset, like you said, because they have that poor mindset, poor character. But it is dividing. You know, like Occupy Wall Street. We are the 99%. And this eat the rich. Normalize eating the rich reads a sign, an artistic sign up on La Cienega and Olympic right now on an electrical box or whatever that thing is. And so there's all this hatred of the rich, hatred of and looking down on the other classes and the other people. And it's definitely full-blown communism.
I don't doubt. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That it is. But I mean, also that we are the 99% speaks to the idea that comes from communism, that there's only two classes:
the haves and the have-nots.
or the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. So if you're not bourgeoisie, you're proletariat, or you might be like.
So
I guess
proletariat sounds like people, right? Normal people, and the bourgeoisie are the hoity-toity, uppity people.
Or basically, that's the main class antagonism. That's how they see it. So there are other classes. There's like the lumpen proletariat, which are the generational poverty. It's like people who are criminals. And
the people who are lumps on a log.
Yeah, people who are sucking the proletariat dry, basically, making their lives miserable.
The criminals and the beggars.
Yeah, the people who don't contribute.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
It's interesting that those people, though, so much support communism when they would be the ones that would benefit least, right? Like
which ones support communism?
The people who are lumpen proletariat, the criminals,
they're the main
people
pushers
that are, the people that are on like benefits and never work.
But they're the alienating kind of communists. They're not the friendly, wear a suit and convince people type of communists. They're the angry, vicious ones who serve a purpose.
Regardless, I mean, the whole mindset is coming from this idea that people aren't entitled to what they earn. Yeah. And that people aren't entitled to. It's also like a scapegoating of the ruling classes, the people who've built generational wealth and passed it down. You know?
Yesterday, I had to your point about the scapegoating and the demonizing and stuff. Yesterday, I titled my show, Who's Worse? Who did I ask was worse? I don't know. You remember the title of my show yesterday? It was, the guy who is hated, or this other guy who's also hated, John Brown. Who's worse, John Brown or who's that guy that? What did I name my show?
Was John Brown the guy that was like killing white people on behalf of the slaves?
Yeah, Henry Ford or John Brown, who's worse?
I guess it depends on who you ask.
Right, that's why I asked the question. That's why I liked the question. Because Henry Ford, a contributor, he helped build up America, right? Basically.
Right.
Employed a lot of people, made that Model T assembly line thingy very affordable and everything. But he's hated because he bashed the Jews, I guess, and was racist or something normal for back in those days. And he was manly. And then John Brown, what did he do but get himself and some of his sons and other people killed in trying to spark a slave rebellion? I don't know, maybe he did other things with his life that we don't acknowledge that we should, but that's what he's known for. And the blacks and the communists, they all love, and the anti-fascists, they all love John Brown, and they hate Henry Ford. Am I right?
It seems to be the case, yeah.
And wouldn't, objectively speaking, John Brown is worse than Henry Ford in terms of what they are known for doing.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Definitely.
Crazy. Interesting.
But I mean, that's what, that's what having that poverty mindset does. It makes you feel entitled and angry at people who don't have the same mindset as you.
Yeah. I've been asked for, I never used to get asked for money.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, like friends or brother or whatever would be like, hey, can I borrow this? And then you give it right back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And, but in general, like, as grown men, I never asked for money or was asked for money except a handful of times, and it was so weird. One of them I gave money.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I lent. Oh, no, I did give a couple of times. And I realized that I never should have done it. And it was funny is that JLP says don't lend people money, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give back. And that is so real and true. But he said it like it was common, and it wasn't common for it to happen to me until like, I guess three times that I can remember distinctly in my mind. And all of them did have that sort of poverty mindset. One of them was sort of surprising to me. But they all had that mindset. I don't know. It was an interesting thing because it's not anything that would even seem right to do. Live within your means. Anyway, go ahead. What?
Right. I felt that way too. I had befriended someone years ago, like older lady, and I remember her asking me for money once, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like that's. I remember feeling like so uncomfortable, and it was just to like she wanted to go play like some video poker or something. I was like, absolutely not. Like, are you kidding me? And it made me not want to be around her anymore, like because of that. Because I was like, me in my mindset, I don't even gamble, but no way would I ask somebody else for money in general, like.
Right.
Let alone to go gamble.
Well, if you were into gambling, you might.
I might. Yeah, you're right. But that's the other thing too. They're into gambling a lot of the time.
That's so true. I just thought of a fourth time that somebody asked me for something. Ugh. I don't remember what I did. I blocked it out.
It's triggering. It's triggering.
It's evil. It's true.
Yeah, it is. And I wonder, like, there's something about it to me that feels instinctually like wrong.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, if that's all you've known, that you just give money if you have money and somebody asks you, you just give it. If that's the way you're raised, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What a mess.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Hake.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Interesting. Happy White History Month. Take care. You as well.
Happy White History Month.
All
Bye.
Right. Let me do this before I get back into your calls and super chats. I want to take a quick music break because it's cold. Hold on. If we mosey on over here. So shout out to the late, great Richard Burton, born Richard Walter Jenkins Jr. These Hollywood people. Complicated business, guys. Elizabeth Taylor, a bad, bad woman. No judgment. And the Caledonian Elixir podcast, shout out. I think this is the song that I wanted to play. This is Jake Husdon. Happy birthday, Jake. I mentioned that yesterday. Let me make sure that this is not too loud. Jake Husdon has made a bunch of AI Hake songs and sung his own, not AI. Yes, I'm 18 years or older. Let's enjoy Jake Husdon. It's AI, okay?
It's 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 Central Time.
Hopefully it's clean.
Pacific's feeling fine. It's 9 out west, and you know what to do. Grab a seat, hit the screen,
Be right
bring
back.
the fam on through. Oh, it's time to sit down and watch the Hake report. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that fun?
On the Jesse Lee Peterson Network. Oh, yeah.
So good.
YouTube, D-Live, Rumble, 2 other platforms coming right at you. Sit down with your sweetie tea or coffee. Tune in now, cause James is talking stuff he knows about. He's got the facts and a calm, cool tone, talking about the world from a mind of his own. News and views that'll make you think, might just shake you right out of your mainstream sense. So it's time to sit down and watch the Hake report. Oh yeah, on the Jesse Lee Peterson Network. Oh yeah, YouTube, D-Live, Rumble, 2 other platforms coming right at you. Sit down with your sweetie tea or coffee. Tune in now, cause James is talking stuff he knows about.
Kind of cool, huh? Even now, it's still kind of cool. Hold on.
It's Hake time now. Let's go.
All right, I think that's it, right? That's it. Thank you again, sir. Oh. Wow, I had it unmuted. That's nice. Man, would you look at that? Look at that. We're looking at this video footage of walking into like a crevice, almost like a ravine. Would that be considered a ravine? I'm walking at the beach in beautiful San Onofre, California, not far from San Clemente, California. It's interesting how the ground part is just flat ground. Pretty cool. So, all right. Let me get to William from California, who's on the line over here. William, thank you for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
James.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you just date this woman, man? We didn't sit here and listen to you court this. Man,
I'm just, I find her,
no,
she has
my bad.
cool insight.
Where?
Right,
I seen
20
somebody
minutes
in
ago.
the chat. Wait a minute. I seen somebody in the chat said that TERRI makes them miss a root canal. I hit the floor. I threw the phone down.
She makes him miss a root canal.
some kind
That's
of a
funny.
dental procedure.
The chat is brutal and very entertaining.
They are. There's something else.
Yep.
I like them though. They cool.
So do I.
Damn, James.
I did talk with her for 20 minutes, but
About what?
About
what?
About a whole lot of stuff that
About
I
what?
thought was nice.
No, I didn't ask you that. About what?
About class and
Stop.
mindsets.
Stop. While you're here, stop. Stop.
That's funny.
It was. I'm going to make this real quick. The contribution for me today is going to be Katharine Hepburn.
Cool. Yeah. That woman is Catherine, I don't know how to spell it. Hepburn, Moon River. She's sang that song, right?
Yeah. I'm going with her. And I'm going to go with Barbara Billingsley.
Maybe not.
I liked her too. Beautiful women.
Barbara and I don't know how to spell that.
Billingsley.
Barbara Billingsley. She's even pretty in old age. Oh, wow. What a shit. Look at that. That's like I Love Lucy, except prettier. And Lucy was okay. Nice.
Lucy was nice looking.
Yeah.
That's from Leave It to Beaver's mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one's for Big Bump. Sandy Koufax.
Sandy.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Koufax. Oh, Lord. I didn't spell it right. Sandy Koufax. Sandy being a man, in this case, Sanford Koufax, nicknamed the left arm of God, is an American former baseball player. I've heard this name, Sandy Koufax, Koufax, American baseball pitcher. Right on.
And since white people are into colonizing and making things better and traveling and getting on boats and exploring, like somebody else said, I'm going to go ahead and go with the chief engineer, Joseph Strauss. I think he quite a contribution to the United States of America. It's Joseph Strauss.
Okay. The Golden Gate Bridge guy? Did he make the Golden Gate Bridge? He was an engineer. Joseph Behrman, Bearmann, Strauss.
I didn't think they had some. I think he had a little bit of something to do with Levi Strauss, too, because that's out of here, too.
Okay.
So.
Revolutionized the design of bascule bridges. Interesting. Chief engineer of the Golden Gate Bridge. Wow. He died at the tender age of 68 in L.A.
Excuse me. Yeah. And that was quite a feat. I mean, because that bridge is actually on the ocean right there. It's an ocean current, so that's why that bridge is not solid. It's cable.
Oh.
In its ways, right. And, you should look at the documentary on how they poured the pillars on the floor of the ocean right there. They had to dry that out with cups.
Wow.
Drain it. And see how you white folks invent things, great things. You see how you guys do things, man? You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the people who think like that and are able to do that, and it's and respect to them and defend their honor on some level.
Underwater welders and all of that kind of high-tech stuff way back then,
Didn't a lot of these guys get the bends or something by coming up to the surface too fast?
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But they got it done, didn't they?
Yeah.
With not a single woman on the crew.
Based. Heaven.
I'm gonna let it go, man, because I don't. I'm gonna let this go because you had a lot of time with something else. And that story you were talking about with that woman that was sentenced in Maryland. Yeah, I've seen that, man. Do you know what happened? The police got sick, man, when they opened that suitcase, bro.
I bet. Yeah.
And one of them was the one that actually opened it. He was off to the side. He was crying, dude. This dude was hurt.
Yeah.
I said, what is in there? He said, children.
Nicole Johnson, Baltimore woman found driving with the decomposing bodies of her niece and nephew in 2021, Essex, Maryland.
Too bad.
Yeah. She'd been carrying them for them since 2019 when their mother left them with her. 2 counts of first-degree child abuse resulting in death in August of 2024, sentenced to 50 years in prison. I think it was in February this year.
That's enough.
Severely malnourished at the time of their deaths, they were.
Yeah.
And she hit Jocelyn, the niece, I guess, in May of 2020, causing her to fall and hit her head, placed her body in a suitcase in the trunk. Larry died in May 2021, a year later, after falling asleep and never waking up, and she placed his body in a plastic tote in the trunk alongside his sister. Wow. So the sister was in there for a year longer than the brother. And so in, I guess, July, they found her. So a few months later. Terrible.
It's gruesome.
Yeah,
gruesome.
Really.
Something else that's gruesome is this WNBA thing saying, pay. What are they saying on their T-shirts? What did they say? Pay us what?
Oh, no. I heard that even Caitlin Clark is on that now.
Yeah. Oh, my God. You know what? They did a calculation, some NBA player.
Pay us what you owe us.
No, this NBA player did a calculation on if they actually look at it, every WNBA player owes the NBA $200,000 apiece.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Because and why is that? Because they've been subsidized by like $1 billion or something?
They don't make any money.
They've been subsidized by the NBA.
I mean, how, they don't make any money, man. I mean, you're doing what you do every day. How is somebody in the projects going to tell you, pay me what you owe me?
Yeah.
You're being subsidized by taxpayers.
Right.
So, yeah. One of them's wig fell off during the game yesterday, so I'm going to let you go on that. That was classic. She ran to the locker room.
Terrible.
Yes, terrible, because you always be asking me, is that the hair?
Yeah, is that her real hair? Is that her real hair? I never knew this.
And then you like, I'm telling you something else. I keep telling you, date one. You really be asking me about those baby hairs, those wings, those seahorses?
Yeah, those little things on the sides of their heads?
They buy those.
Oh, really?
Let me get out of here, man. Get it together, man, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you,
All
sir.
right, man. Happy White History Month.
You as well. Take care.
All right.
Bye. Quick review, shall we? Katharine Hepburn. He called her Katie Hepburn. Nice. Barb Billingsley. Sandy Koufax, man. Shout out, Big Bump. Dodgers, huh? He was in the Dodgers. He was a Dodgers. Brooklyn/Los Angeles Dodgers. And this guy, Joseph Strauss. Interesting. The bridge. Ooh. And the black ladies. Shout out to the black ladies and some who have some trouble. You know, speaking of beautiful Caitlin Clark, Ms. Perfect herself, she's not so perfect, but still, I love her. If I love anybody, right? The 55-year-old man who pleaded guilty to stalking Caitlin Clark had told police he had an imaginary relationship with the WNBA star. Guilty as charged, he shouted, and the female judge is like, no, you're not supposed to say that. I think this is going to send me to Texas man. They use the term man loosely. Pleads guilty to stalking. They make it sound so bad. I think he did scare her. Caitlin Clark, and he got 2.5 years in prison. How are they going to treat him in prison? I hope they treat him well. Chin up, king. Associated Press reports this, and Commie Nonsense shares it. Look at that gal. Caitlin Clark, 22 years old, 6 foot tall, arms roughly as big as Hake's, which are roughly as big as Georges St. Pierre, 55-year-old Texas male who told police he was in an imaginary relationship. Stay out of the imagination all that lust and mess. And I don't know if it's lust. Maybe he just thinks she's a classy gal. But stop. Don't worship the woman. Oof. But anyway, sentenced to 2.5 years in prison Monday, pleading guilty to stalking and harassing. All these woman words. Stalking, harassing, terrible. The Indiana fever. You give me fever. Fever in the morning. Fever all through the night. Fever. Michael Lewis, Lewis, of Denton, Texas, reached a deal with Marion County prosecutors out of Indianapolis, Indiana, in which he pleaded guilty to 1 felony count of stalking and 1. Well, I mean, that's crazy. I don't know what he did. I forget. Ordered to stay away from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Hinkle Fieldhouse, Fever events, Indiana Pacers organization events. No contact with Caitlin Clark. Will not be allowed internet access during his sentence. Wow. He was arrested January 12th. Maybe this will do him good. Happy White History Month, sir. and miss. Allegedly sent hundreds of threats and S-word, sexually explicit messages to Caitlin Clark between December 12th, 2024 and January 11th, 2025. This thing only lasted a month. He prophesized during Monday's courtroom proceedings that the end of the world was coming. Recommended to get to mental health treatment. Was he hamming it up to get a little mental health break? Or what? FBI tracked the IP addresses. Wish the FBI would do this for me. I get into contact with feds for my stalkers all the time. By all the time, I don't dox how often I do talk with the feds or not. I disclaim. The FBI tracked the IP addresses of Lewis messages to a hotel in downtown Indianapolis. He went there, as well as the public library in Indianapolis, Indiana. Police made a welfare check on him, per court documents. He told officers he was in an imaginary relationship with Caitlin Clark, and he came there on vacation. Okay. So he was a functional obsessed male. The messages to Caitlin Clark continued after the initial visit by police. So what? How was he messaging her? Socials? Number 1 overall pick, Caitlin Clark is. Top of the dung pile, but still she's the top. She's the one true star of the WNBA. But I like Angel Reese. And whoever else. I even like that woman who's famous for getting arrested and stuck in Russia. She was limited to 13 games this season because of injuries, sidelined with a strained right groin. And the groin is this muscle, the inside of your thigh, I think. I mean, I know, because I know what I'm talking about. I know musculature. Terrible. Let me find on X. Oh, come on. Let me search guilty as charged, because that would be amusing to show if it pulls up. Oh, there it is. Here it is.
Morning, Mr. Lewis. Guilty as no, sir.
He's like, guilty as charged. Leaning back in his chair, acting all funny and weird and crazy. It's actually not funny. It's insane. But I laugh because it's sort of amusing. And the judge on the mic, no.
This is initial hearing.
Oh.
We are not.
The female bailiff, police, sheriff woman thing, pushing in his chair and forcing him to sit up close to the table.
You have a right to remain silent, and I expect you to exercise that. Okay?
Look at the little boy look on his face. He has like a little boy look on his face. 55-year-old grown man, gray hair, big old beard, imaginary relationship with a 22-year-old.
Charges off.
Shout out.
You do not listen.
Hey, that's hey.
I'll give you a chance to talk. It's not your time. Stop
Throw me the bookie.
talking.
I'm sorry, guys. That's not right. Look at him. He's doing like right angles.
Morning, Mr. Lewis. No, sir. This is initial hearing. We are not.
Okay, so that was several months ago. Or so. Funny. Very, very amusing. That was a while back. So anyway, that's the news that doesn't matter because whatever but it's sort of relatable a little bit. Anybody relate? Anybody been stalked, you gals? You guys are so crazy. All right, so make sure you do catch. Okay, American Anchor Baby is set. Darren Beattie. Let me plow through a bit more news. Caitlin Clark guy. We should remember his name. No, we shouldn't. We'll keep going. Darren Beattie of Revolver News. I never read Revolver News, but I should. Revolver.news, that is. He's a fan of JLP. Or, thinks that JLP should be on the Trump administration. He was in the Trump administration. He was a speech writer. He's Jewish. He's probably he's got to be in my top 10 favorite Jews. Darren Beattie earns yet another America First promotion. Look at this man, Darren Beattie. Here's Commie Nonsense thing about it. Communist Nonsense Network, CNN. He was fired as a speechwriter during the Trump administration's first term after Commie Nonsense Network revealed. This is according to Commie Nonsense, okay? So I disclaim this report. But according to them, they revealed he spoke at a conference attended by white nationalists. White nationalists are everywhere. They attend everything. He will now serve as acting president of the U.S. Institute of Peace, which says a senior State Department official. Top State Department official who once attended a conference with white nationalists, and he's Jewish. Okay, picked the lead to lead the U.S. Institute of Peace, according to Kanita Iyer over there on Commie Nonsense Network. U.S. Institute of Peace. He was appointed by the board of directors, the official said. Nice. Sweet. So I wonder if he was actually fired from being a thing, or if he said, let me duck out for a bit, because you don't want to be associated with white nationalist President Trump. Give me a break. Here, let me read this one. Darren Beattie's been fighting the global censorship regime for a while now, but his latest promotion gives him even more power to shake up the system from the inside, says this Revolver News article out today. I guess Mike Benz took to X. He spread the news far and wide. Dr. Darren Beattie, he's a doctor, has officially been tapped to lead the U.S. Institute of Peace. D.C. institution's been accused of shady backroom operations, regime change meddling. So they're not about peace at all. And more than a few quiet coups. Thankfully, with Darren at the helm, the era may finally be coming to an end. Huge news in D.C. today. Secretary Hegseth, Darren Beattie, from Secretary Rubio and Secretary Hegseth, Darren J. Beattie, Beattie, new president of the U.S. Institute of Peace. There's the man. Doesn't he look happy White History Month? Is he white enough? Do we like him? He's white enough to be hated. He attended a thing that Commie Nonsense Network said was also attended by white nationalists. Be inheriting the reins of the influential but deeply wayward USIP, U.S. Institute of Peace, which has been beset by allegations of corruption, unauthorized covert foreign policy, He will rebuild it from the ground up is his vision, ditching the baggage of the troubled past. Very nice. Oh, are these headlines? Or are they just... Anyway. U.S. Institute of Peace funded the Taliban and Iraqi leaders. So reads this headline, purported headline. Elon said the U.S. Institute of Peace tried to delegate the Taliban funding records. To delete, not delegate, I can't read. What, is my name Jesse? Doge recovered it. Wow, they tried to delete a terabyte. That's a lot of information, potentially, of financial data linking them to funding the Taliban and Iraqi leadership. But Doge was not fooled. Happy White History Month, Doge and Elon Musk, and those Asians also who are probably working over there on Doge. The U.S. IP agency attempted to scrub the records, according to Elon. So, interesting. The Taliban's successful opium ban is bad for Afghans in the world, according to U.S. Institute of Peace. The ban is not a counter-narcotics victory and will have negative economic and humanitarian consequences, potentially leading to a refugee crisis. So said one William Byrd at National Institute of Peace, I guess, in 2023. Something like that. I don't know. I don't understand it. State Department's Global Engagement Center, accused of pushing censorship to combat online disinformation, shuts down. That was a New York Post headline. Audacious, what does that say? Oh, announcement of visa restrictions on Brazilian judicial officials for immediate family. I don't know what all this stuff is. It's too much. One thing about Revolver News, that's for readers. They had a thing that showed, and I'd never read it, but it showed that the many life years were lost more by the shutdowns than the China virus itself. More life years lost by the shutdowns than the China virus itself. Something to look into, and I could certainly believe it. The shutdowns were worse than the virus itself. And the virus was nothing to sneeze at. Like Trump said, the virus was nothing to sneeze at. Nor is it the flu. Congrats, Darren Beattie. But Revolver News is his baby, I think. Revolver.news, that is. So they're better than Commie Nonsense, FYI. But I like them. I love them all the same. All right? FYI. Where are we? Let me double check on Super Chats and things, if you don't mind. Make sure that I'm caught up on stuff. I have a couple from buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. One from Streamlabs, at least one from Streamlabs.com. What's up, Bacon Eggs? Nice to see ya. Bacon Eggs over on Twitter. What's up, Rita, over on the Facebook crew? What's up, pill.net? Hello to, let me refresh, punchy.tv/Hake. Good morning, Jim in Alaska. As always. And of course, I got to check Rumble, the Rumble crew. Commander Kim, nice to see you. Flying Monkey, Goethe. After the hockey report country song, I haven't heard anything about hockey since. They used to call me Hockey. Is it James Hockey? No, it's Hake. All right. So here we go. Into the... there it is. I wonder if I could have shared that. I probably should have. So Popcorn gave a coffee, as did Cesar or Caesar. Thank you, guys. Sup, Hake, says Cesar or Caesar. Writing this coffee while I'm at a red light. Pretty busy today. To gather my thoughts for a thoughtful coffee. Have a great show today, man. Okay sign. And this says okay. It's not white, W. Power. It's okay. They were trolling you, but now they all use it, so it's like the same thing. It's a hate thing. It just means okay. What a mess. Chill out. I disclaim. Okay. Big Bump says, shout out William, by the way. Nice. Thank you, sir. And Popcorn. This is a Thump Keg. With a super chat. In response to my coffee yesterday about John Brown, you said slavery is not worth going to war over. I did indeed. I did indeed. If half of California was overtaken and you were among the enslaved, it's hard to believe that you would be advocating for leadership to negotiate for your freedom. I could be wrong. This is a weird, this is an interesting type of a situation. Is he trying to draw that as like a similar situation to what the slaves were in? Okay, we've reached a deal. You can keep 5 counties enslaved, but the rest let go. But let the rest go. Okay, we'll let's read through this and not respond yet. If LA County was among the group on the short end of the deal, I think you'd go, forget this, bring in the tanks. Is it really about who is enslaved and are they worth going to war over? What to you is worth going to war? Asks Popcorn. Isn't that interesting, his line of thinking? Because I said the Civil War was not a good thing. And John Brown helped provoke, they say, I don't know if it's true, the so-called Civil War in America. John Brown did that terror attack, some people would call it, and I think that it's fair. It's a fair thing. Sort of an act of war or a terror attack, either way. Doesn't sound like it was good. He died for it. He was executed, I think, for treason or murder or something. And his sons died in it, as Popcorn pointed out. And as I looked into it, they said he provoked the war. Whereas Trump, being a man of peace, would be like, let's negotiate, let's have peace. We have to have peace. And so I said, slavery is not worth going to war over. So what was the state of slavery? And were the slaves, did the slaves have a say into whether they were should go into war? I don't know. I don't think so. The slaves didn't have a say in whether the Civil War happened. Maybe the slaves who joined in John Brown stuff. Like the blacks also love this Nat Turner guy who was an evil person, apparently. A vicious, malicious person. And killed a bunch of slave owners and their families and stuff. I think he pretended to be a Christian. I think they made a movie about it. These blacks and unchristian people. But if half of California was overtaken, which it is, and I was among the enslaved, which I guess you could call me, I sort of enslaved, but I'm more of a comfortable slave right now. It's completely different from, you've already had 300 years, 200 years, 1619 to 1820, 1830. If I was born into 230 years of slavery, would I want them to go to war to free me? I don't know. 600,000 die so I could be free? I think that seems a bit selfish. I think a peaceful life in slavery is better than a war life where lives are cut short. But who am I to judge? But it just doesn't seem like it's worth going to war over. All kinds of evil comes from war. I don't know. Popcorn. I certainly wouldn't. I don't know. But it's funny because his mind goes about, oh, these blacks aren't worth fighting over. These blacks aren't worth killing one another to free. That's what he's thinking that I'm thinking or something, it seems like. Is it really about who is enslaved? And are they worth going to war over? No. Which is worse, slavery or killing? I think killing is worse than slavery. I think abortion is worse than slavery. And I think the Civil War was worse than slavery. You know, there's instances in which you mistreat a slave. That's not right. A mistreated slave, a killed slave or whatever, that's as bad as the war, because that's killing and killing. That's equal. That's bad. But slavery, just working for free, getting your housing and Christianity and stuff, you don't get to move about. Yeah, I do not envy not being able to have your weekends and stuff if they didn't get their weekends or whatever. I do not envy the slaves. You happy? I think I answered his question. I would prefer a peaceful negotiation for my freedom to a warring, killing negotiation or a non-negotiation in California. I would rather the Aztec children who are coming over and taking over, I would rather the Aztecs not kill us than they kill us. Oh, man. There is a whole lot of that American stuff about, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. That's a lot of big talk. A whole lot of people getting on their knees to live. I think it's better to live. People hold on to life. Anyway, so that's that story. Gregatron, speaking of free men, people who are not slaves of slavery, Gregatron states, thank you, William from California, yesterday, for the kind words. I want Artie Art to call in. If he doesn't call in, I want you to call him live on air. I want to hear from Artie Art, too smart. For White History Month, I want to celebrate Stan Lee. He gave us Marvel Comics. Stan Lee. He used to appear in those, in like practically every, he's gone now, right? Practically every movie that had old Spider-Man in it. Spider-Man. He died in 2018 at the tender age of, what is that, 95, 96, something like that? Yeah, 95 and 11 twelfths, or 10 twelfths, something like that. At Cedars Sinai, just up the street, born in Manhattan. Stan Lee. Kind of a nice, cool name. Comic book writer, editor, publisher, producer, co-created many popular Marvel characters, working with artists and co-writers Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Stan Lee, that is, helped create Spider-Man, Iron Man, the X-Men, and more. Started Timely Comics, a family business that later became Marvel Comics, and eventually became chairman emeritus, meaning honorary chairman or something like that. Stan Lee. Was he Jewish like all these others? I don't know. White enough to be honored on White History Month. Born Stanley Martin Lieber. Okay, that sounds sort of Jewish or something, right? Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Are those the Jewish people who made Superman? They're so good at storytelling. Yeah, he was born in the apartment of his Romanian-born Jewish immigrant parents. Those immigrants. Celia, born Solomon, last name, and Jack Lieber, or Lieber, Lieber, raised in a Jewish household. Asked if he believed in God. Let me put it this way. No, I'm not going to try to be clever. I really don't know. I just don't know, he said. Romanian origins, relationship with the country, never visited. But he did know Romanian because his parents did not know Romanian because his parents never taught it to him. Huh. Interesting. So right on, man. That's his signature. Stan Lee. Oh, he went into the military like so many did. 42 to 45. Was that World War II? I don't know. Had some kids. His wife died in 2017. He died a year later. Wow. Joan Boocock. Boocock. Married her in 47? Is that what that said? Turn that thing off. Married in 47, died in 2017. Joan Boocock Lee. Wow. Oh, wait. Okay. Pretty white gal. Or whatever she was. Nice. Thank you, Gregatron. I appreciate that. That's cool. And I said that Gregatron is not a slave to slavery because, as Big Bump rightly pointed out, so many of these blacks are slaves to slavery. They're caught up in an idea about it, identifying with it, projecting their racial hatred, if you will, which is not real, projecting their judgment and dismissal of the whites onto the whites as judging and dismissing the blacks, which is a bit of human nature, so it does happen. But it's a mess. Thank you, sir, Gregatron. Let me see. My goodness. Where have I left off? How did I get all this way? Okay, cool. That works. My goodness, we are coming up at the end of the hour here. Callers and the rest of the super chatters. I'm going to have to start wrapping up. AG says, at least that's an occupation. Hey, what are you talking about? Being slaves to slavery? Stan Lee. And Art. Shout out to Art. A long time still rolling with Trump hero from and a black Hebrew Israelite tribe of Judah, he said of himself. And Artie Art, too smart, supported the Second Amendment. And he disagreed with me that the Second Amendment is gone. Not that I want it to be gone, but that it just is gone. The Second Amendment is gone. What a mess. Okay, let me see. American Anchor Baby will be live in just a few minutes here. He will not be able to take your calls here in the office, okay? He will probably be having his, what is it, 84, something 900 baby, 2223? That one, American Anchor Baby. I feel like, oh no, terrible. I feel like unmuting this, but I feel like I might be talking too much during this video here. I'm showing the closing video because I have to be done in just a minute over here. Do catch American Anchor Baby, guys. Look, that's a cicada, I think. Very nice. Here. Take care, everybody. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. And we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Punchy TV will be live tomorrow afternoon is the plan. Take care, guys. Bye. Pray for me that I don't drop my phone if he jumps. Or she. Are you my
cousin.